and also not listening to people's problems that are just simply out of your control. You can't change. When people drink, they vent their frustrations, but sometimes you can vent your frustrations all day, and the only person that can change is you. 30 days of no drinking, how my life greatly changed. What up, internet world? It's your boy Jermaine back with another video. So I thought I would make a video talking about 30 days no drinking because wow, let's just put it like this. It's been absolutely life changing. And let's just sit down and talk about it for a minute. So it was what the Super Bowl, right? It was Super Bowl night, and I kind of tell some people that, oh yeah, I stopped drinking because the 49ers lost. No, I didn't stop drinking because the 49ers lost. And then I also say I stopped drinking because I wanted to not go out and spend money so much because I wanted to invest in Bitcoin and buy more Tesla stock. Not exactly. Something else I want to throw out here, I should probably say this in the beginning of the video. So, if people watch this video and they don't drink or they don't go out or they don't have a social life, you may automatically assume, oh, Jermaine, that's so good you stopped drinking because you have a drinking problem. Well, I do want to say I don't necessarily believe I have a drinking problem. And the reason why I say that is because, well, after I stopped going out and stopped drinking, if I actually would have had a drinking problem, I think I would have just started drinking at home alone. One of the big reasons why I wanted to stop drinking is I kind of wanted to stop going out as much, right? It was I definitely had a circle of friends that went out all the time, and some people in this circle were quite negative, I would say. Just a very, very, very negative outlook on life. And I didn't necessarily want, I don't know how to say this, but like, it just got a little too toxic for me for the most part. It wasn't everyone, like, there's a lot of cool people that I used to talk to and hang out with, but just in one circle, it just got really negative, and I was just like, look, maybe I should do something else with my life. So I remember it was like 4 days. It was 3 days. It's 3 days I didn't go out, and it was really hard not to go out because I basically work alone. For the most part, I work alone. I have one job, but I do work with other people, but I mainly work alone, and then I live alone. So on some days I just work alone, and then I go home and hang out alone. But I would always go out, so that would be my thing to do, like work and then go out, be social, right? Well, after day three, I remember I was going to go hang out with a homie in the city, and we were going to go out and go drinking. But we made these plans before I stopped drinking, right? And when I told my homie, I was like, "Look, I haven't drinking in like 3 days. I haven't went out in 3 days." And my homie was like, "Oh, great!" Like we just kind of hung out at his house and just talked about a bunch of different stuff. So that was day number four. Like I woke up the next day and it was day number four, and I'm just like, oh, I want to keep this going. I want to keep this going. So I wasn't going out and I wasn't drinking for like 4 days, which I thought was awesome because I used to didn't go out every night. I used to go out like every other night or maybe 2, 3 days a week. And then after I broke up with my ex, I just started going out like every night because I didn't have anything else to do. Because I used to hang out with my ex like quite a bit, and then after we broke up, it's like, oh, I don't have anything to do. Let's go out. And then maybe on day five, I started to go back out. Okay, going back out to the same place, somewhat hanging out with the same people, but I wasn't drinking. Right now, some people would say, "Oh, this is really bad. You can't stop drinking and then hang out with the same people." Well, in an ideal world, you would do that. In an ideal world, you would break away from, toxic people and you would stay away from them. Or not necessarily toxic people, you would break away from people that drink and then you would just stay away from them. However, on the flip side, a lot of people smoke here in San Francisco, and I stopped smoking like before I stopped drinking. So I kind of stopped smoking, but I didn't just avoid people that smoke. Like I still hang out with cyclists and skateboarders who smoke. I still know people at work that smoke. I'm not gonna stop smoking and then go to work and not talk to any other people that smoke, especially when they're out smoking on the smoke break. Like that's just unrealistic, right? So I would still go out and still hang out with people that drink. And I didn't drink. I would just order a Coke and order a sparkly water or something like that, a fizzy water or something like that. And that was cool. I didn't not stay out as long as I did before. When I would go out drinking, I would easily stay out for 3 to 5 to 6 hours a day. Okay. And mainly the reason why I would go out and stay out for so long is because I wasn't by myself, you know, just wasn't by myself. Now, all the time I would go out, I wasn't necessarily hanging out with people. A lot of times I would go out, maybe I'm sitting over here on my phone, like doing some stuff, and then I'm going talking, hanging out with people over here. Maybe I'm running over here to get some food and then coming back. It's a social life, right? That was my social life, like going out and drinking was just part of that, right? And then I don't know what happened. I would just stay out not as long, okay? I would just stay out for 30 minutes instead of 3 hours. This is when I started to go back out and still hang out with people that were drinking, but I wasn't drinking because I just wanted the social aspect, right? And for a couple weeks, I would kind of go out and not drink. But then I kind of started to figure out that this is like, I don't know, like this is not working anymore. I kind of felt like something was missing. Like, I kind of felt like, I don't really know. I just kind of felt like maybe I'm like being hated or something. It could be because I was talking about a lot of political stuff online. And since I wasn't drinking and I wasn't there as much, and people are like, oh, why is Jermaine not around? I don't know if things are going around like, oh, Jermaine this. I don't know if people were talking about my back and people just started to hate me because I am like an independent, like when it comes to politics. But if you are around a bunch of Democrats and you say anything that goes against Democrats, they're automatically going to say that you're like an extreme Trump supporter. And these people really don't know what they're talking about because I don't know any extreme Trump supporters who are vegan. I don't know any extreme Trump supporters who are into electric cars and autonomous cars. Like I don't really know anybody like that. But once again, like I don't know if that was part of it, but I just kind of felt like people didn't like me anymore. Maybe it was because I wasn't drinking. I wasn't getting wasted. Maybe it was because oh, Jermaine's too good. He's not drinking. Like I kind of stopped drinking because I wanted to sort of break away from this crazy circle, right? And the whole circle wasn't bad, but like I say, was some negativity there, right? So to fast forward, this is week 4, like basically day 30. And last week, I posted some stuff on Instagram about like Union Square. Someone messaged me to like take it offline. So when they messaged me to take it offline, they sent me money. I said $200 that they sent me. This is what they said in the message. But when I went to Cash App, it was a lot more than $200, right? I never told anyone how much it was, but I just basically said $200. So everyone think, oh yeah, Jermaine took this down for $200. No, it was actually a lot more than $200. I don't know why they wanted me to take it down. My only guess is it was something in the comments. And it was kind of funny after I took one of those videos down, I saw someone else had already downloaded my video and they had uploaded to their page and they're getting a lot of views on their page with one of my stolen videos. Yeah, that's how the world of social media works. Like people steal folks' videos all the time. So that was last week. I kind of felt bad about taking the video down. I really wanted to take it down because the comments were just really stupid. People were saying things like, you only say negative things about San Francisco. And I'm like, this is totally not true. Um, but then I was also dealing with, you know, my ex, like, not hanging out with my ex anymore. And also I was dealing with my social life greatly changing, right? So that was Saturday, all this happened. So Saturday night, I didn't really have anything to do. Okay. So someone messaged me offline, and this is um this is kind of crazy, but someone messaged me offline and they're like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" This is someone I knew from years ago. They're a photographer, pretty popular around the city, right? And they messaged me and they're like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." So we ended up hanging out. Like I was like, "What do you want to do?" They're like, "Let's meet here." So we met at this intersection in the Castro. So we went there, met, and when I showed up, I don't know, it looked like they had been drinking, so they're a little, riled up or something like that. So they're like, "What do you want to do?" And this is someone that follows me online, and I haven't really talked online about not drinking. Or I just kind of like left it offline. If you follow me on live streams, you would definitely see that I was talking about it in live streams, but I wasn't talking about it in any videos or any reels. So maybe they're just assuming that I was just, want to go out and rage, right? So we met up and he was like, "Yo, what do you want to do?" And I was like, "We can go to the Mix, or we can go to Badlands, or we can go to Bow, or we can go to such and such." We're right. We met at like 18th and Castro, so like the Mix is like right down the street. Badlands is just right up the street. So I was like, "Cool. Let's go to the Mix, right?" And then I told them, I'm like, "Hey, I'm not drinking." And they're like, "Oh, you're not drinking?" And they're like, "Oh, so this is someone that was trying, like, this dude is much older. I think he's like 55 or something. He was trying to talk to me a while ago, but then I've been in a relationship for like 3 years. So I didn't really hear from him. Like he would always comment on my stories and stuff and on IG, and would definitely leave comments. Always critiquing, right? It was never like comments like, "Oh yeah, this is so great," or "That's beautiful." It was always comments like, "Oh, well, you should change this," or "This is that," or "You're wrong about this," or "You're right about this," or it was always like critiquing, right? That's something I kind of noticed. So when I was like, "Yeah, let's go to the Mix," and then I later said, "Oh, I'm not drinking," and when I said I'm not drinking, they kind of like got an attitude, and he's like, "So you want to go back to my place?" And I was thinking, like, I already know what that means, right? You want to go back to my place? And I'm thinking, "Oh, well, I thought you wanted to go out." And then they got really upset with me, right? They were like, kind of got aggressive and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, so you don't want to go out?" So we kind of started to argue. And then he said, "So what are you even doing here?" And I was like, "What do you mean? What am I doing here? You're not drinking and you want to go out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you can totally go out without drinking. Like, it's totally a thing. You can do it." Then he says, because we kind of had some words, right? And then he said, "You're not welcome here anymore." So when he said that, I thought he was implying you're not welcome in the Castro, right? And then he said, "Oh, you're not welcome around here." And I was like, "Why?" He says, "Well, you're not drinking and you're not sleeping around. So what are you doing here?" So I was just like, "Oh, well, yeah. You obviously want me to go back to your place, right? You're much older than me, right? And then you're just like straight to the point, okay? All right, cool." And then he just said it really loud, like, "You're not welcome here." Like he said it really loud, like it was people like turning around and looking and stuff. I just slowly like walked backwards and I was like, "Dang, that's pretty dang aggressive, yo. Wow. Welcome to the Castro." this one spot I go to, and I noticed that like, dang, when homie told me that I wasn't welcome here anymore, that's exactly what I felt like. I felt like, yo, I am not welcome here. So I went in, a couple interactions happened. You know, I tried to say, hey, this person ignored me. I tried to say, hey, this person ignored me. And I'm like, dang, yo, I don't know what's going on, right? Something must be up. So I like got, two seltzer waters, went back to this table where I knew like a homie I know. Saw him there. He was talking to some more other folks. I couldn't really walk up and say hello because he was surrounded, right? So I went around the back of the table, start talking to someone that I see there often, but like we've never really talked. So we started talking for a minute. I set the two drinks down. This other person I know came up between us and was like, "Whose drinks are these?" Like got all aggressive. Like I know this dude got all aggressive. So I was like, "Let me move my drinks." Then went got next to that person, basically pushing me out of the conversation. So I was like, "Dang, yo." So I tried to wave at the homie across the table that I knew for a while. Waved at him. He totally ignored me because he was talking to two other people that I don't know if they don't like me or I don't know. I don't know. So I was just like, dang, yo, I'm like not wanted around here, right? So up until this point, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna probably bounce out. It's pretty trippy up in here. So I ended up like leaving, going to another spot, hanging out there for a minute, and then I ended up going home. And then the next day, I was just like, okay, we got to figure this out, right? We got to figure out something to do to take our mind off of not going out, right? Now, up until the point of me not drinking, one thing I was really big in before I was going out all the time and before I was sort of in this negative environment of, listening to other people's problems that I can't change. Well, I used to be really, really big into the stock market, right? I used to be really big into the stock market. And then I sort of started to hang out with people who, and not just people at the bar, people outside of this particular bar, people outside the drinking scene. I sort of start hanging out with people that say things like, "Oh, you shouldn't invest because investing is risky. It's gambling. Like you might as well just go to the casino, right?" So right when I first stopped drinking, one thing I noticed, well, I definitely had a lot more money. Okay, I just told this long story just to really talk about the juicy part of this video here. Notice I had more money because when I would go out and drink, I would either spend $30 to $50 a night, and I would go out not once a week, not twice a week, not three times a week. I would go out every night, 7 nights a week. Okay. So I would go out and drink. Sometimes I would have two drinks. Sometimes I would have three drinks. And then from there, I would always go somewhere and have dinner, right? $20 for dinner. And then I would just stumble home. Sometimes take Uber, sometimes take Waymo, but I would just stumble home. Like, that's expensive, right? That's really expensive. I know some people that go out and drink and they Uber to the place where they drink, $15, and they Uber back home, $15, and they spend money on drinks. And then they also spend money on food. So once again, I was spending from $30 to $50 a night. But I know some people were spending like $70 a night, and they would go out every single night. So one thing I noticed was, I'm definitely not spending as much money because I wasn't going out. But then I would still go out and drink non-alcoholic drinks, which was way cheaper. But then I also didn't stay out as much because I would maybe stay out for like 30 minutes because when you're not drinking, it's kind of hard to be around people that are drunk. But then certain nights, people are not as drunk. Like you go out on a Sunday night, like it don't seem like everybody is as smashed as if you go out on a Monday or a Tuesday night. Monday or Tuesday night, it seemed like, man, everybody up in that joint is lit, yo. So I would just, right when I first started drinking, I would just avoid Monday through Wednesday, because Thursday night was definitely a different vibe. So I noticed right off the bat I was saving more money, a lot more money. And then I started to do things like pay attention to like the stock market and the market more, because now I have more time in my day. When you get off work and you just go drinking, you may not think so, but you are giving a lot of time to drinking. Like you are. And then when you come back home, like I would come back home and I would just be dead tired, yo. I would just pass out and then I would wake up the next morning and I wouldn't even be tired. I'd wake up at like 6 a.m., ready to go. And now since I stopped drinking and stopped smoking, I wake up at like I never wake up at 6 a.m. anymore. I wake up at 7 and I'm dead tired. And it feels like, and I also have these crazy dreams, man. Oh my gosh, the dreams are so freaking insane. Yeah, when I was drinking and smoking all the time, I definitely did not have the same dreams. Um, I noticed that my productivity has changed a lot. My social life is gone. I basically don't have a social life anymore. I used to go out and know a lot of people. Used to hang out with a bunch of folks. Now, since I'm unwelcome to go to that neighborhood anymore, I did a walk around in the neighborhood like 2 nights ago. I didn't go anywhere, but I did a little walk around. Saw a bunch of people that I knew actually, but no one noticed me. Probably because they're all wasted. But I like walk by like three people that I know, like that I used to hang out with, and no one noticed me. Or maybe they didn't notice me because I don't know, maybe rumors or something. Oh, Jermaine's a bad person. Jermaine did this. Jermaine said this. Look at what Jermaine posted online. Jermaine posted Trump shoes. He's a Trump supporter because he is talking about Trump shoes. I don't know. It could be. It could be. Oh yeah, he likes chicks, but he hangs out at the gay bar. I don't know. I'm not really tripping, but I did notice that I was just being ignored. Since then, I have saved just a boatload of money. I really can't believe how much money I've saved. Like, I really can't. Since then, since I've stopped drinking, I've noticed that I wanted to do different goals, right? So now I actually have goals. I have like saving goals. I have goals of not eating out. And not eating out will save you so much freaking money. Like you have no idea how much money you can save by not eating out. So Monday through Friday, there's only one restaurant I go to where I will where I will buy something, and that is Mr. Charlie's, right? I'll go there and like have a vegan burger or something like that. Maybe I'll get a burrito. There's a couple burrito spots where you can still get a burrito for like $7. Maybe I'll go there. But usually Monday through Friday, I just use MealPal. MealPal, I pay like $100 a month. I get 5 meals a week, Monday through Friday. So that's my eating out for the day. And then everything else, don't eat out anymore. I have a lot of pasta with like beans, right? Maybe I have Impossible Nuggets, but I try not to eat Impossible Nuggets that much because it's processed. I try to lean more towards beans and stuff like that. Beans is way more healthier. So I've noticed that my diet has changed. I've been trying to gain weight, so I've been gaining weight like a little bit now because since I'm not drinking and smoking, it's a lot easier to eat all the time. So sometimes I'll eat all the time, like I'll make a bowl of pasta with beans and I'll drive around in the car and eat like beans and pasta. It sounds really cheap and it sounds really bad, but once again, when you have saving goals and you're not getting wasted, you can actually think in the direction of achieving your saving goals. Because some people I would hang out with would say things like, yeah, you can't do this. Like, you can't buy a house and you can't do this and you can't achieve this and you can't do this. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe you can't achieve it, but I can. Maybe I can if I don't hang around you and listen to how you say you can't achieve it, but I can. So I've definitely come up with a lot of saving goals. A lot of people wonder, like, why don't you travel around the world anymore? So I am gonna start back to traveling. Basically, I have a savings goal. I want to accumulate a certain amount of stocks in a couple different companies. I also want to accumulate more cryptocurrency, and I still do want to retire at the age of 40, right? So I don't have much time to do that in, but I'm still on that savings goal. Um, so that's something I am working on. I definitely want to go out. I've been hanging out at some places on Polk Street recently, but it's a little bit different when you hang out in straight places versus gay places. Gay places are far more accepting than straight places. And before I would only hang out at gay places. Going to straight places is like, oh, you're by yourself. Like, what are you doing here? It's way more uptight. So I have, been going out a little bit, but it's not as fun. So lately sometimes I stream at home, like stream, live on YouTube. Or do that at home, or I just do what I did last night. Like, I wasn't really feeling good. I thought I had a cold or something, so I drank a whole bunch of cough syrup and like just passed out at like 5 o'clock, and then woke up in the middle of the night, talked to a friend on the phone for like 30 minutes, laying in bed, and then I passed back out after drinking some more cough syrup. So I guess I had some alcohol because alcohol is cough syrup. But like I said, I had a cold, so did that, and then woke up this morning and was like, yeah, time to get my coffee. So I've noticed since I stopped drinking, key things, I'm more productive. I'm not hanging around the negativity because some people I would hang out, they would be they would say just the most insane racial things. And it was almost like, I don't know. It just got so incredibly racial, that I just couldn't deal with it anymore. I just couldn't deal with it anymore. Like this I just don't need to be around this, you know? So my gosh, my sleep patterns are better. Dreaming is just off the chain. Like, dude, the dreams are so nuts, man. Like, some of the dreams I have are just so crazy. And before, like, I never had dreams like that. And when I say they're crazy, like, it's kind of good, but then it's also kind of like scary and wild, you know? Way more productive. I'm looking at goals and I see how I can achieve these goals. And before, there were no goals. Like a month ago, I had no freaking goals, yo. Like I didn't. Yeah, I was making videos and I was posting. I definitely did not have goals. Now I have like saving goals and like goals. I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to start this business. And I've just been way more productive. It's been life changing. Like it has simply been it's been life changing. Like it has. Now, will I not drink for the rest of my life? Right? Probably not. Probably not. Now, I know some people may be disappointed when I say this, but I didn't just stop drinking to just stop drinking forever. You know, maybe I don't want to go out and party all the time, but I don't know. Maybe I'll drink sometime in the future. That probably won't be anytime soon. It probably will be maybe a year or two. It's really nice to break away from that scene. It's really nice to save money. It's really nice not to be, in a bar with the music loud and you're screaming and the person is sitting next to you and you're screaming. Will I not smoke forever? Probably not. I'll probably definitely smoke again. Throughout my life when I would travel, I would always smoke in America, and then when I would leave the country, I would not smoke. That was just something I would do. So I'm sure I will definitely smoke again. I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, I'm never smoking and I'm never drinking." But for now, I've just noticed that, life is different. Like I was literally getting smashed like every night, and that's not healthy. That's not good. You should always give your body a break. And like I say, when I would travel before, I would always give my body a break. A lot of times I would go travel to different countries and I would drink sometimes, but a lot of times I did not drink unless I was going out. And drinking was something that I would do to meet other people. But I noticed since I don't drink, it's very, very difficult to meet people because even on Tinder, like I'm going on dates and stuff. When you don't drink and you don't smoke, you're kind of boring. I'm just gonna say, like, you kind of are. Um, you do different things. Like instead of going out to a bar, now I have to go out to like a show because if I go out to a bar, I can't really be there and not drink because everybody's probably going to be drinking because it's a bar. But if I go to a show, well, I've been to a lot of shows and people don't drink or people don't smoke because the main event is not drinking and smoking, it's the show. So you definitely have to change what you do, change your environment and stuff like that. And having goals that you can see and then having the clear mind that you can achieve these goals and also not listening to other people's problems that are just simply out of your control. You can't change them. Yeah, when people drink, they vent their frustrations, but sometimes you can vent your frustrations all day, and the only person that can change is you, you know? You can sit there and talk about this and talk about that, but the only person that can change is you. And like I say, this has been a fun journey. It was fun partying. Yeah. Also, one thing I noticed about partying, wasn't really meeting a lot of new people. I was definitely meeting people in the bar scene, but it's a little different when you meet people in the bar scene and you only hang out with them in the bar scene, you know? You're only getting drunk, right? You're not like doing other things excluding alcohol. Every time you hang out, alcohol is involved. I like to go hiking and stuff like that. You don't need to drink when you go hiking. But it wasn't like I was going out meeting people and it's like, yo, you want to go hiking? You want to go cycling? You want to go hang out at the beach? No. Everybody I met was just like, yo, let's just drink. You gonna be here tomorrow night? Yeah, I'm gonna be here tomorrow night too. We gonna turn up. And now I'm just doing different things all the time. Going to more workout classes. Doing a lot more hiking when it's not raining because we've had so much freaking rain this year. And I've just watched my life like change. I'm not gonna say it's perfect now. There's definitely a lot of things that are missing in life, but I love it. I love it for now. And I'm filming this on a Saturday. I have no idea what I'm gonna do tonight. Maybe I'll find a show to go to or something, or maybe I'll just go home and go to sleep. Watch a 3D movie with my Oculus since I didn't buy the Apple Vision Pro. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I've been yapping for a minute. This is a long one. I'll definitely put some videos on the side because I know y'all people nowadays got a short attention spans. So a lot of my sit down videos, I try to have other videos playing in the background so y'all can have something else to look at. Like I said, I know y'all got short attention spans nowadays. But anyway, we out. I love all y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. If you got any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll see y'all. Bye bye.